Okay.
Oh, we live now. We live now, but there's no one ever watch. Nobody have starting to watch right now. So, but we're still live, so it's funny.
Okay. So we're live right now.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. On what are you called on YouTube? Are you still called Jay Willie?
Yeah, I'm still called that. I used to think that this is so extremely funny because uh, remember this moment so many times. I mean, like the time when you start to talk with someone on Hangout, and then we just wait to press the go live button. And I remember it's like a different feeling with each individual because I've done it 3 times before, and
Yeah.
all people are so different, and that's so funny. Because have you ever seen like some people that are like doing like a serious YouTube video where they talk to one person, then they talk to the next person, and it takes like one person each time, and they're like talking to them, and it's so funny because it's the same concept, but it's different because they're going through all the people, and that's always so interesting.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Each person is so different that it could just change the whole format of an interview or a video.
Oh yeah, that's why I like it so much.
Sometimes wonderfully drastic, or sometimes horrifyingly horrible drastically. Like really bad. Sometimes it can
Oh,
go really wrong.
that's actually kind of very true because if you like take something in turns, you're like going through each individual, and uh, it could be very very dark sometimes, and it could be very very light sometimes. It should be so different topics, and it doesn't have to be live stream. It could be just regular videos that people do, and that's really that's just amazing. I think.
Oh yeah. And who is the darkest person you've ever had on a live stream? Like someone
I'm
depressing.
No, I'm not just talking about people I've had on my channel because
Oh,
there barely been any.
just people
But
you've watched also.
oh yeah, and also where I've been to other people's channels where you have like where I've been on other people's channels, and that's the same feeling. You go in here, and then it's like talking to this one person, this one guy, and then you start to talk about some shit,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
that's funny.
What's the
You
craziest on all of YouTube? What's the craziest video you've ever seen of an interview?
uh, One of the craziest in you was when Andy Vorsey talked to Ty McCarthy in Destiny because that was just so fucked up.
Oh yeah, that was the Destiny
The,
thing. That whole Destiny thing's crazy.
Yeah, the worst part is that I actually thought that he had worse. His ideas and opinions was even worse than hers.
Oh really?
Yeah, but that's just my opinion because some people don't really know it, but some of my opinion are actually pretty much extreme. I mean, like not actually extreme, but extreme if you look at the current
Certain things
what's
they believe.
acceptable in the current year. Yeah,
Yeah.
and not your extreme if you talk about uh, regular, but also extreme in the on the internet, on the people who are not the mainstream. Be even extreme for those circumstances.
Yes. Who would you consider extreme? Who are the most extreme people on YouTube? You believe?
I
Because I
mean,
have a handful of a few people that are not just extreme views, but also extreme in the way they conduct themselves.
I would actually say that that the concept of being as extreme is really, really, in many ways, a useless uh,
Yeah.
description
It's too
because,
yes, too
I mean, like,
simplified.
yeah, because what's the most abhorrent and disgusting and nasty belief system that ever come across on this world is basically what is taught as gospel across the entire planet. So the extremism has basically become the norm. I mean, like, just look
Yeah.
at just what we are learning in education. I've actually done it. I'm doing like a school paper. I'm talking about if teenagers understand what fascism means, and
Yes.
I'm
Like
doing a
a
research. And
essay.
yeah, and I'm researching all the kids in school. And before that, I had to research fascism myself, and then I realized that fascists they actually believe that an ideology that grew out of the counter enlightenment. You know what that is?
The Enlightenment.
Yeah, you know that is.
Yes. During the late no during the mid 1650s, like 1650, the Enlightenment, and then all the way up to 1805, something like that, around the 1700s, basically.
Yeah, and what many people don't know is that fascism actually came across as an ideology based on the reaction, opposition to the cultural change of the Enlightenment.
Yeah. And the height
That's
of
why it's
the
so
Enlightenment was
extreme.
basically in the the mid 1700s, like
Yeah, and
mid to late.
that's good you put it out there because some people may not know, but it's kind of interesting because the Enlightenment is that if fascism they are so reactionary and so extreme. I mean, like people can say that right wing boils down to reaction and hierarchy, and fascism if they are reaction to the Enlightenment um,
Hmm.
and dictatorial, authoritarian, hierarchical, it's really far right.
Yes.
And the funny part is that if you look at the counter Enlightenment, something that you really should know that many people should everybody should know this because this it sounds extremely scary when you read it. Um,
Hmm.
you say that the fascism thought that human beings are fundamentally different based on their race, nationality, gender, and class. What did that remind you about?
They're fundamentally different based on their race, class, and
Yeah,
origin. Is that what you're
they say
saying?
that human beings are fundamentally different based on their race, gender, nationality, and class, and that's basically, I mean, like and the end that they're always in conflict with one another. What does that remind you of?
It sounds fairly reasonable to me. It all depends on what they mean by different. If they mean
No,
different as in
different.
subhuman or like horrible, or if they mean different in a bad way,
No,
then
they mean different as
that reminds me of something.
they mean different as they're always in conflict with one another,
Oh, what does that
and
remind
that's
me of?
basically if you that is basically what people are being taught in gender studies classes.
Yes.
And to say that the belief system that was the foundation of fascism is basically exact the same thing that is taught as objectivity in gender studies and classes is something that I find to be very scary, but not really that surprising if you think about it, because regressive leftists are basically fascists. Not
Oh,
really, but
yes.
some ways they are not really that different if you look at it. Like they have very similar views of people, and those views haven't really been um, how people try to move away from because it's completely contradictory to everything that we consider a modern society, and they still consider that to be the most progressive thing that is. I mean, like that's the very reason why we used to call it regressive rather than progressive because it's
Yes.
extremely backward thinking.
And what do you think? Like, who is the what or not who, but what is the first fascist uh, nation in the 20th century? What do you think it would be? Spain with Franco, or do you think it would be a little earlier than that?
I don't know what actually came first, but I think that the Mussolini was like one of the first fascist nations, but the ideological concept goes all the way back to the counter enlightenment, which took place at the
Oh
same
yes.
time as the enlightenment.
Oh yeah.
As for
I'm not
example,
sure, but
um,
I think Franco came before Mussolini. I might be wrong on that, but
oh, it was.
that's what I think.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I think one of those people, but
Yeah, Mussolini came
and
very close after Franco came to power.
yeah, and I actually have some outrageous, ridiculous claims that people say that Donald Trump is a fascist, and that's just plain wrong. He's really not.
Yeah, he's really not a fascist. I mean, he was for abortion rights, and he was a Democrat for
But
years before he ran for the Republicans. So he's just doing this. Actually, there's an interview years ago, back in 2005 or 2004, where he's interviewed, and they say, "Oh, if you would run for president, what party would you run for?" And he said, "I'd run as a Republican because Republican voters are easier to be tricked into voting against their own interests." Basically
Yeah,
calling them so
but that.
stupid that they don't know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, but that's why if I were to vote in America, I'm basically, I mean like I'm basically in between in many ways because I believe
Yeah,
that I'm, if you were to take, I mean like if you took basically most countries and took a
yeah,
um Venn diagram where I'm close to, I'm tend to agree with more opinions. Agree with more on the left wing rather than the right wing. I used disagree with what the left wing parties say because they have
yes.
some key issues that
And
I
I'm the
feel
same way.
so
I'm more
incredibly
left
wrong.
wing.
Yeah, because I mean, but the reason why I usually vote why I will vote right wing is because there are some key issues with the left wing parties that I that, that I am more opposed to than what I am opposed to anything the right wing could say.
Oh, definitely, yes. Especially the freedom of speech issues and the identity politics and language policing stuff the left wing are doing, within the past 5 to 10 years,
Yeah, and
or even
also that
longer.
the the left wing in many political parties are pro discrimination, and they are trying to make it illegal for gay guys to have kids
Oh,
in
the
Europe.
left wing?
Yeah, they did it in but the right wing is sometimes on it, but they did make it illegal in France and Sweden.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they haven't.
So
The
they
left
just
wing really doesn't push that here in the States, but I can't believe Sweden and France would do that. That's crazy. I never even heard
oh
about
yeah,
that.
but those kind of it's crazy, but that's something that I really makes me feel a little bit awful is that the countries that my ancestors built for their
Mhm.
own children, they are preventing their own children from reproducing while still forcing us to pay taxes to fucking migrants. And that's something that I
Yes.
find to be. Now, I have still lack of words, but I usually find it to be abhorrent. And
Like
one of my
what you're saying, you would get a tax, like you would get money basically in your taxes for marrying immigrants more than you
no, no,
would.
no, 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 no. You are because the migrants are getting so many social benefits, and you are paying
Yeah.
for that, but you cannot be allowed to have your own kids in those countries.
Oh,
And
okay, I
if
get it.
yeah, but it's not that far. Okay, I mean, like that's something that the left wing would like to make law if they could, but that's too far off. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but some of those parties would. I don't really think that Macron would ever want to do something. I mean, like he's very left wing. I don't really. I
Oh yeah.
prefer Le Pen, but I'm not. He's not. He's not. He's not the worst thing that could ever happen. For example, I mean, like
Yeah.
he's way better than fucking Hillary and Corbyn for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah.
By a long shot. He's not as bad as those people.
You don't think
And whenever I
Corbyn is more like Bernie Sanders than Hillary? Because I would say that Corbyn's probably a more Bernie Sanders leaning than he would be a Hillary
yeah, that's
leaning.
true. Yeah, I mean, like that's actually true. Uh, but the thing I was talking about, the big shot, the one who got the furthest in the, or the one who is was the mainstream political opinion candidate for the left wing generally.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like whenever I move to South Africa, which I will do so that I can have my own family, because it's basically impossible to have in Europe right now.
Oh
And
yeah. You've got to be very careful
then
in South Africa. Like I was watching this whole video of someone who used to live in South Africa and now he lives in China, and he was talking about different diseases and stuff that and the health problems in China, and then he said, I used to come from South Africa, and then he talked about HIV and AIDS, and like 1 in 3 people, not just gay people, but 1 in 3, everybody, 1 in 3 people have AIDS, and that is a terrifying statistic. That is like
oh,
you put 3 people in a room, one of them has AIDS. It's just crazy.
but to be quite honest, if you look at upper class black people combined with minorities, then that figure is far lower.
Oh yeah, the more educated you are and the more economically successful you are, the more likely you are not to get AIDS at a higher rate. Yeah, that's true.
I actually know a guy who is like from the Zulu people, and his family moved to Mozambique, and they were like, but they were very rich
Yes,
if you compare to Mozambican standards. And he actually married a woman who was Karelian.
Karelian.
Karelian is a Finno group of people native to Finland and Russia.
Oh,
who I
okay.
also know a bit. That's like really interesting. You get someone who is Zulu and someone who is Karelian is married. It's like in
Yeah,
Mozambique. You'd be like, how the fuck
that's
that?
really unique.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's like how did they
And
even
something
meet?
about she got to work in the Finnish embassy
Oh, that's
there,
cool.
so she had to move. Yeah, and this is someone friends of my sister. She always also work. Yeah, but I would not really say too much about that because
Oh yeah, I was curious. Sorry.
yeah, but the thing is that many of my family members, or at least my mom and my dad, my sister, they have like work in the state, and yeah, that's why I also want to make my more extreme view and more controversial view, or at
Oh yeah,
least
yeah,
a
of
more
course, of course.
anti-regressive view. I don't want to make them that public because if I do, then if I were to get big, which I don't know, or if I don't, because I don't think I get big ever. Why would I? Then somebody can say, look at what your relative is saying online, and then
Oh
they
no.
might get. Yeah, I don't think that not something could happen, but rather be paranoid than to
Yeah,
and
rather safe than sorry.
yeah, even if that chance in billion that something bad could happen, it's still a chance in billion, and I don't even want to take that chance because it doesn't even necessary. It doesn't make any. I don't really sacrifice anything by not
What's your
taking that chance.
YouTube's channel? What's your YouTube channel called?
Oh, you can see it in the live stream. It's about. Oh, I will get you. Oh, share view is in the chat.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the chat and see. Yeah, okay, I can go to the link on Twitter and get it. What's Chairview saying?
He's saying that. Oh my God, tell. Oh, He say that you have to tell me something.
Oh, I don't know what do I have to tell? What?
You have to read it to yourself. I can say it to you.
Okay, hold on. There we go. I found your Twitter, and then I find the link that I can get into it. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm here. Okay.
So the
What are you
video
saying,
is.
Chair?
Look, read.
Oh my God. Tell Jimmy. Oh yeah, you are so cute.
The finger. Oh my God! Thank you so much.
Chair thinks you're so cute also.
Oh, that makes me happy. Because I actually think that you are really, really, you are really as Kyle, you are. As your picture you showed me, you are one of the most cute guys I've ever seen. Like ever.
Well,
I mean,
thank
like
you,
you are
thank you,
really
thank you,
cute.
thank you, thank you.
You
I never show my face on YouTube, but thank you very much.
you will never do that.
Oh, probably not. Probably on a different channel where no one knows I'm connected to Dead Kyle or something. But I would never do it on anything connected to Dead Kyle because that would just ruin the magic about Dead Kyle.
The funny part is that people get big and they did to a face reveal after they get like over over tens of thousands of subscribers, and they're like, "Here's how I look," and you're like, "Oh my God, that's how you actually look." Look.
Oh, Magnus Deacon in the chat says Skull Guy sounds like the lead singer of King Missile. I don't know who King Missile is. That sounds like an awesome name for a band, though. King Missile.
But you do have a really cute voice. I actually can't sing.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But you something I want to ask you is that if you are making like songs or music, and could you like do a background music for one of my videos to have some time?
Oh yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I've told a bunch of people to just ask, if they want a theme song or something. Just tell me, what do you want it to sound like, and I can do it. I can write the
Yeah, I
lyrics and
do.
everything.
Yeah, I do want to have something like when I do video, I want to have like a background vibe. It's like background music that builds up uh, the video, so it's like not just you talking. It's like something in the background that makes it more exciting, you know.
Oh yeah, like instrumental music, just like like
Oh yeah, that
something like that.
precisely.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Oh, and
Oh,
Hellbound Isakara said, "I better stop talking smack about that guy."
oh no, oh no, I know who she's talking about. I know who Hellbound is talking about.
Oh, who is
She's
she talking
talking
about?
about she's talking about someone who is a member of Heart Progress.
Oh, those creepy people.
Those are disgusting people. Have you just an advice to everybody listen here, or an anti-advice, do what you want. Never comment under a video about those people, because the response you're going to get is going to be fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, no, those people are going to say the most so shitty things. I was actually called conservative because a girl said that I was close-minded, or girl, woman, because I said that I didn't want children to be drag queens, even though the video of a child being a drag queen up was actually up on a fucking pedophile channel. That's proof that
Yes.
children shouldn't be fucking drag queens, at least not for a fucking audience. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, even little girls, that do these beauty pageants and these like toddler and tiaras kind of thing, that really makes me uncomfortable and creeps me out too.
I do think that if some people want to do that, they should be, for example, like tell us that, yeah, you do like the beauty pageants for kids and something. That if people do it, like, I don't care, I wouldn't do it myself. But something I hated is that people say, "Oh, look at this! It's part of the LGBT blah 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 fucktard shit bullshit," and then I'm like, I'm not connected to this bullshit. Why do people connecting me to this bullshit? Stop connecting me to this bullshit. I don't want to be a
Yeah.
part of this bullshit. Okay? I just, I just, I just wanted to know something. I plan to make a video about it. Do
Yeah,
you
you just
think
ask the
that?
question and all of a sudden, boom, they just jump on you for no reason. But do I think what?
Yeah. Do you think that LGBT plus is a thing, or do you think that's just a made up shit that people use that doesn't really mean anything?
Well, used to in the early days, it was actually I think G came first, but then it was like in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s after Stonewall and all that, and then LGBT, that's all it was back then, and up till recently, LGBT. And then it was used, just basically to organize and campaign for rights, and give everybody a platform. And then it got, like in the past 10 years or 25 years, it started, we have to add more, LGBTQ, LGBTQ plus, and then now there's like a weird acronym that's LGBTQ plus something 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 else, and now it's just getting so hard to say it's ridiculous.
I mean, like, nobody even understands this. I mean, like, I usually think that before there was like, if you look at the rights of this specific group of people, but
Yeah,
if you look to take two group of people that doesn't have any rights that need to be advocated for in common, and put in some people that doesn't even have a, they are not even part of a biological state. They're just part of an ideological state, and
yeah.
in the
What does the Q
same.
stand for anyway? An LGBTQ or
I mean, like,
LGBTQ or plus? What does the plus or the Q stand for? Because I'm not
it
really.
doesn't it doesn't stand for anything. That's just the problem with it, because it doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it means
I
type
just
of
assumed it was
queer, but
queer.
that's, yeah, I think it is, but it could be questioning. Depends on who you ask. But queer
Oh
is
yeah.
just a incredibly demeaning slur, and if that's it, then yeah. For example, I remember when I was in school and I said that LGBTQ wasn't a thing, and the teacher said
Hmm.
yes it is, and I was said no, it's just LGBT, and he was like, no, it's this too, and I was like, and I didn't know that I was a gay guy then back then, so I
Yeah.
didn't really figured out, and now I just said I won't call myself LGBTQ. And to be quite honest, I don't really want to call myself LGBT either, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because
Yeah.
transgenderism has nothing to do with sexuality, and it's actually quite insulting to say that it does. It just makes it difficult for people to understand it. That's well, so it's not just because of me; it's because of those people. Because
Oh yeah.
I care about them too, for example.
Exactly.
And for example, whenever I want to advocate for gay rights, for example, then you have to do it within the same group of people who wants to advocate for gender neutral passport and bullshit like that. And I'm not even in favor of that. It's two different things. Stop putting them together.
Oh yeah.
And also, now I actually believe that some TERFs, you know what a TERF is?
Uh, Not I vaguely know what it is. I've been called a turf a million times by
Oh,
Chrissy Valentine on Twitter and all this stuff. So, exactly what is the definition of a turf? Because
a
I have
TERF,
never really looked into it deeply. I know it's someone, anti-trans basically is what the whole like umbrella wording is when they
no,
call you a turf.
no, TERF, it literally stands for trans, exclusive, radical feminists. It's a feminists who are
Ah,
radical feminists who are rejecting transgender women from their advocacy in the slightest part, and some of them reject the existence in general. Some
yeah.
TERFs say that transitioning is basically a way for men
Hmm.
to penetrate female spaces, and then they
Well,
would rape every
that's a
single
lot of
woman.
work to go through. Isn't that a lot of
Yeah,
work
yeah,
to go
I
through just to
know.
get in the bathroom?
Yeah, and I believe that that's just rape. Not even if not all TERFs, but not even if they don't do anything, they still believe that they are um, not literally but figuratively raping every single woman in that female space,
Yeah.
and that's
But what
basically not.
what what if they totally transition though? What if they,
They still
are
do it,
doing the
even though
hormones and
they
they've had the sex reassignment surgery?
they even say even if they have lost their male membranes, they have not they have gained the ability to penetrate female spaces more easily. Not
Hmm.
all TERFs, hashtag not all,
Yeah.
and but some TERFs believe that, and some TERFs just doesn't want to include trans women into feminism, and yeah, basically it. And the feminists who doesn't like TERFs call everyone who's not who isn't pro-trans in their way a TERF, even though they're not
Yeah.
feminists. I actually heard that someone called Milo Yiannopoulos a TERF. I mean, like, why do you call an
Oh,
anti-feminist a radical feminist? It doesn't make any sense.
exactly. And when I was in the debate on Twitter with Chrissy Valentine, the like me, Red, and a few other people have argued with her on this subject, and it's basically giving hormone replacement therapy. You know, these powerful drugs and puberty blockers to children under 16 years old, and when their brains aren't, developed enough to handle these things for long term. And she was like, "Oh well, it's their right. If I could do it when I was a kid, I would have done it." And it's like, yeah, but what if a kid is seeing a bunch of other people do it, and then they do it, and then they regret it when they're older, and then it's way too late by then.
I know that transgender dysphoria have like if you have gender dysphoria before you are 10, I mean really young, then that have an 80% chance to disappear in time.
Yes.
So if an 8-year-old has the gender dysphoria, and there's only 20% chance that they will be transgender, but all transgender people have gender dysphoria or feeling some of it. Um,
Yeah. To
even
one degree or another, they have it.
yeah, even when they're 5 years old. I even know a transgender woman who started the. No, I don't know. I follow a YouTuber. She's called Ella Grant. She's kind of good. She
Hmm.
I like her video, and
I need to look her up. I haven't
she
heard of
said
her.
that. Oh, you should look out. She's good. She started when to hormone block when she was 12 years old and transitioning when she was like 14. And she said that it was a good thing that she did it, but she doesn't. And but that was because she was severely autistic, and it was easier to
Oh
understand
yeah.
that with her because of it. But she didn't say that people that were 12 years old should do it. She just
Yeah.
said that she had done it, but that other people shouldn't do it.
She said it worked for her, and just because it works for her, it's not going to work for everyone else. It's different person to person, and they should get
Yeah,
really, you know, they should have a lot of therapy, talk to a lot of doctors, and have a lot of therapy sessions and psychological analyzation done to them before they make a huge decision that can destroy their lives if they, all of a sudden realize they didn't want to do it. And,
yeah,
and you know,
But if somebody, for example, a boy, think about it, and he has like a younger brother or an older brother, then if he were end up sterile, then that's not really that devastating because he still have someone with very similar genes as a
Yeah,
brother. So she
to
can technically be
further
a
the
parent.
family line kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're a single child, or if you're a girl, by the way, then that's devastating. That's
Oh yeah.
not a good idea. So therefore, I would say it.
Yeah, that's one thing I think about, since, I can have a child and stuff with a surrogate and stuff, but here in the States, it just costs so much money. And that's one thing I worry about is, I want a little me running around. You know, and a, uh, I want grandchildren, great grandchildren, I want the line to continue, my bloodline to continue.
Me
But
too.
I have a younger brother who is just 2 years younger than me, and I have two older sisters that are half sisters, and they're fraternal twins. They're both 44, I think, or 43. And and then I have two half brothers on my father's side. The two half sisters are on my mother's side, and the two half sisters are on my father's side. Half brothers are on my father's side, and they're like 10 years younger than my sisters, and they have kids and everything already.
Yeah, but something that you could do if they let you, then you can ask if your one of your sisters or female relatives could like be pregnant with your boyfriend, and then you can adopt it
Oh
if they
yeah, I
agree
saw.
to it.
Yeah, that just seems weird to me. That just seems odd. I have no
Why?
problem with going. I have no problem with doing it with a stranger or something, but someone that's related to me, with Brian, just it's really freaky.
But the thing is, then it would be related to both of you, and that's something that would be really awesome. I'm
Yeah,
not
that
saying
would
that
be
you
really
should.
awesome.
I mean, just say that you should at least consider it.
It would instead of having one of a relative carry it though, they can do the thing where they get the eggs from a relative and then they get the semen from somebody else and then they let a third party gestate it and carry it.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I just thought that she would only do it if you couldn't afford someone else carry it for you.
Oh yeah.
Because when you first said that it was too expensive, then I felt bad for you, so I started to cry afterward, actually. Hello?
Oh, hello. I heard you. I was just looking at the chat real quick to make sure that no one's saying anything
Okay.
crazy.
I thought that you got stunned or something.
Oh no. So, when do you want to have children? Like, at what age would
I
you feel
want
like you were ready?
I mean, like I've been thinking about it like every day for like long time, and I think that when I am done with college, I want to start. And I believe that if you talk to a place like South Africa, and there, it's like
Hmm.
it's much cheaper, but you have to be a citizen or a permanent resident to do it. And I will study there because it's cheaper, and then I will try to live there. Um, Even
Oh
if
yeah.
I got a boyfriend or not. And if I got one, then I think that if he get rich, then maybe we can have another kids. But I highly doubt it. But it's still, they can at least take mine as well.
Yes.
Still be a family, you know.
And do you plan on moving to South Africa with your family, or is this something you want to do on your own? You wanted to go to South Africa on your own?
I probably would do it on my own because my parents' income would be better if they remain in the European Union,
Oh yeah.
and that's why that's because if you have like the euro and the other value that we have in European Union, um, those are much more valuable than the rand. So if you're going to exchange those money, then this is going to be easier. I mean, like it's going to be more money.
Oh yeah.
So that having a surrogate there doesn't you can't pay expenses, but you can, for example, pay. You have to pay for everything, and you have to pay for her. If she doesn't can go to work, then you're paying for instead of her work, for example.
Oh, by the
And that's
way,
not that.
Hellbound just said, uh, Jay Willie, I am just wondering about this. It was in regards to Chris Chan. I believe he is transitioning into a woman. I am just wondering if autism plays a role in transitioning.
Um, I don't know, but I think it might be easier. if you look at what Ella Grant said, it might be easier for autistic people to, for example, to get if they're transgender or not. She did a live stream, and I will put that live stream in the description. No, in the side chat, so that people can go and watch it later if they want. It's unlisted, so they will not be able to see it any other way. But something
I believe there are I don't think it plays a role in transition. It does play a role, but I don't think it plays a role in the dysphoria or anything.
No, it just plays a role in the. It's easy to understand. I think, I don't know, but I believe that it's easy to understand transgender people that have autism. It's easy to understand if they are truly transgender.
Yes.
That's just what I think. We could look at the chat for see. It's funny. It's always funny when you get a chat going on.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in here. So Hellbound and some of these other people are people that watch your videos a lot and come to your live streams.
Oh, Hellbound is kind of new, but she's good because I like to talk to her. And something I like that she said that feminism just tackle too many issues, just like the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh yeah.
And that's actually kind of true because feminism is one of the reasons why gay rights has been trampled across Europe, because they oppose surrogacy, because they think that women consensually lending their use into get money in capitalist system is oppression.
Yeah.
Because feminism doesn't realize women's agency. Hashtag not all feminists, because my mother is still a second wave feminist and she is in favor of surrogacy all the much.
Yeah, my mother's a second wave feminist too. Most of the females in my life are second wave feminists. But by the way, what on the topic of if autism plays a role in transitioning, Chair asked, "Do you mean it makes someone want to transition more?"
Yeah, I think he was asking Hellbound, but I don't think that
Oh, okay. He
would
might
make
be.
someone transition more. Only easier for them to explain it.
Oh, okay. Makes them easier to explain it and makes it easier on them mentally. Is that what you mean? Or just makes it easier to explain what it is to someone else?
Yeah, because this is about how you feel, and if you look at people who are autistic, they just explain things so correctly and so precisely so that it's clear. They just doesn't really, even if it's feeling, and that's easier to objectively make a judgment about. I think, I don't know, but it's things that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a good theory about why they might be a lot better at explaining, the transition process to people that are not familiar with it or don't know very much about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know one guy who is transgender, and there is one girl in my school that I don't know, but I like to talk to. She's also transgender, and they started to transition when they were about 16, I believe.
Yeah.
Or 17, because I usually say that 14 is the youngest possible, but I prefer 18 and 16 is also fun.
What are the European Union laws on the age of when you can start transitioning or taking hormone replacement treatment?
I don't know really, but I believe that it's about 16 to 18.
Yeah, 16.
But there are Britain who wants to do it just as early as possible because they don't like them people. They want them all gone because they want other people who is easy to control. Because globalists hate West. Because why does globalists hate West? Because they hate individualistic culture. Because those people are not easy to control.
Yes.
And globalism is not capitalism. Well, it can work with capitalism, but using corporations to take control of a government, it's not capitalism. Hashtag socialist doesn't understand capitalism because they really don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Hashtag
especially modern socialists.
Oh, no, they don't. Really don't. This is capitalism. Why? Because people are being treated badly by the government.
I like a mixture between capitalism, socialism, and like a social democracy with capitalism injected. Like the United States, we have socialism or socialist socialist programs in the states. You know, like the military is funded by the public. Our roads are funded by the public. The police department, the fire department, you know, Social
But
Security, you know, retirement.
that doesn't really mean socialist. It just means statism, and those are not the same.
Oh, really? What's the
Yeah,
difference between
socialism.
socialism and statism?
Socialism is basically that workers should have control of their own means of production, which isn't entirely anti-capitalist, but could very often be. And having
Yeah,
for example, free education, that's a socialist position. Free school,
yes,
socialist position. That's just that things should be government funded. Is sort of
yeah,
socialism, but that workers should own it. And for example, some things like uh, military police, that doesn't really necessarily just socialism. That's just socialists also want them to be publicly funded, but that's not. They don't really have a monopoly, and that doesn't make it a socialist position.
yeah.
It's just that socialism,
So
of
then
course,
our
agrees with that too.
U.S. schools that are public, you know, like I went to a public school, and most kids in the states do go to public schools unless they're, you know, rich enough to go to a private school, and they're funded by taxpayer money and, you know, state and federal taxpayer money. And so would that be considered statist or federalist, or would it be called socialism for the state to, you know, pay for education?
It could be. It is by default statist, not
Hmm.
necessarily actually, but it could actually be that because it could also be bleeding heart libertarianism, socialism, statism,
Like a
not
mixture.
just specific. Yeah, I mean, socialism is a form of statism, with the exception of libertarian socialism. I don't want to hear any artistic screeching, but socialism want it to be publicly funded, but not only socialists want that. Like I believe that
Uh,
social liberals. I would say that it's sort of a socialist position, but not. But having that doesn't make one socialist. It is a socialist position, but it doesn't necessarily a socialist position. You get it? It's difficult to explain.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, there there are some
Oh, you.
things that
Sorry.
overlap between the two, but there are like major differences on the fringe.
Yeah, I mean, socialism want all the things to be publicly funded, but what socialism also wants is that workers should own the means of productions, like labor
Yes.
unions. One of the difference between socialism and progressivism is that socialism want the is that progressivism says that the socialist control of so much thing
Do
public
you think labor
functions mean
unions are a good idea? Do you think labor
yeah.
unions, you know,
Actually, I think it's a good idea. Uh,
yeah,
the,
I
the,
agree.
the, the conflict between those ideologies is that socialism, progressivism doesn't see that socialism control that prevents progress, while
Yes,
socialism see that progressivism isn't as hard for the working class or hard to take care of the people who need it, and therefore they are more left than progressives. And socialists are for free unions, while progressive want corporate unions. That's also the difference
yes,
between the two. But there are many progressives who want it to be free, and many socialists want to be corporate. It's like everyone who's part of an ideology doesn't really agree with it on everything. I mean, like if you agree with an ideology on everything, then you're an ideologue. And if you agree with most things, then you're just a part of the ideology.
oh yeah, yeah. If I mute every once in a
Because
while for a second, it's me clearing my throat or something. I don't want to like alive or something.
but it is actually kind of it's kind of it's I just want to whenever I hear like male voices, it could be anything, not just talk, just like doing any sound. I just love it because I just love male voices so much. It's
In
am
what
I a
way?
massive faggot? I find it them to be attractive or cute. Because I just want to ask you something. I just can't understand why are guys so cute?
It depends on, you know, it depends on if you find them cute or not.
Oh my
I
god, but they're ones you find cute.
I mean, if you're asking for yourself, why are guys so cute to me? Well, that's because, you like guys and you think they're cute.
Mm.
But if you would ask that to another guy who exclusively does not, is totally straight, then he would say, well, I don't think guys are cute. There are probably some handsome men out there that look handsome and I can tell that they're handsome, but, it depends on the person, really, why
That's
guys
true,
are cute.
because I just think that like dudes are like some guys are just so fucking cute. I mean, like I see some guys that are just in school and otherwise on the internet. I see them and I look at him like this.
Um, who
Just
is
all
your
over.
favorite Hollywood actor that you would say is someone that's cute to you?
I don't really think any one of them is cute. I don't really think that celebrities are cute. It's kind of not my thing, to be honest. It feel weird,
Yeah,
right? But it don't.
or
I
singers,
usually
your
find
favorite, singer songwriters, or like anybody famous
mm,
that I would know. So I would just want. Really, what I'm trying to figure out is what your type is.
my type is basically if you look like you are Germanic or Celtic, then that's my type. And you're tall.
Oh, Germanic or Celtic, like dark hair instead of light blonde hair. Are you
No,
like? Do you know
Germanic
the
hair
Scars,
is
the
like
Sarsgaard? Like Alexander Sarsgaard and.
no, I don't really find them to be I don't find them to be cute. I don't.
Oh, on
I
the
mean, like,
TV show True Blood, I was obsessed with Alexander Sarsgaard.
no,
Sarsgaard, because he is like so
I don't.
tall. He's like 7 feet tall almost.
I don't think he's hot. I don't.
Yeah, in True Blood, he's more handsome and dashing. But when he was younger, he was pretty cute.
Hmm. I don't. I know how he looks like, but I don't. I never consider him to be cute.
Yeah, and
Or I
his
can't
younger
find him.
brother, the one who played Pennywise the clown in It, the new It, his younger brother just looks so strange. He kind of looks like Tim Curry in the face, which is why I think they picked him to be the new clown. And I don't know, he's just really strange looking.
Yeah, I don't think he's cute.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So
Well,
like
I think that
tall
there are.
Germanic Celtic people.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to know like what Germanic people look like, I mean, like they generally look like you do.
Well, like dark hair, or like dark brown hair.
No, like blonde hair.
Oh, I put streaks in my hair.
Yeah, but you know, blonde hair, like small eyes, blue eyes, cheekbones like this, like a broad nose tip, who's like go outward like this.
Oh yeah,
If you have this nose tip broader, and it's like a little ditch here, and
yeah,
this is
like
broad but not so
like
tall. You
almost like
call
a
it.
Roman nose, except wider a little bit. Like yeah, I know what you mean, like a Frankish or Germanic nose.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean.
that's the Germanic nose. But I don't just find it. I find it almost attractive because no, I mean like as long as you doesn't have, if you have like a massive nose, then not really my type. But all nose, but noses are like mine, or like yours. Those are really pretty.
Yeah, I always think yeah. Everybody's always thought I had a big nose. Not huge,
But
but big.
you kind of do, but you have like it's not too big, so it's really up. Your nose is like so pretty.
Blushing, so blushing right now.
Really, I mean, like I do too. I'm just sweating a bit, so I need to change my shirt. Could you entertain the audience for a second or two?
Okay, I can talk to the chat while you change and everything. Okay, ladies and gentlemen in the chat. Chair says, my 8-year-old is autistic. Oh, yes. People with autism will often have one subject they obsess over and know everything about. Oh, yeah, yeah. Like my nephew, he's autistic, my sister's son, and he's a little bit older than your daughter, Chair. He's probably about 11 or 12, or about to be 12. And he is just into video games, YouTube, and electronics, and he just knows he knew at 7 or 8 years old he knew how to work, tablets and stuff 20 times better than I did, and it was just so amazing at the breakneck speed, like children with autism when they get into one subject, when they focus on one subject, how so dedicated and so expert they can become on it so quickly.
People thought that I was autistic before because I was like, I was like, I was like so obsessive with something, and then I moved to the next thing, and I was like so incredibly focused on this thing. I was like so focused. I was like, this is so awesome, and I was like so much into it, and I talked about it all the time and only did about it, and I did like huge progress covering it. Like I got one interest, and then I geeked the fuck out of it.
I'm the same way. Like I'll get into uh like let's say I'll get into playing the bass or something, and I'll just only play the bass for like months and months, and I think, oh, I want to be a bass player. I want to be like Paul McCartney and John Entwistle all rolled up into one, and then all of a sudden I'll just get tired of it, and then I'll be like, well, I'm going to paint or something, and I'm just really like ADD, like hyperactive, not hyperactive, but just I can't focus
Wait, you do
on
got
one
that?
thing for too long. Oh no, I don't. I haven't been diagnosed with it or anything.
No, neither have I. But they would figure it if I was like Asperger ADD person. They thought I
Oh
was
yeah.
before because I was like really had problems when I was younger because I was depressed and self-destructive, and I wanted to commit suicide when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I went through the same thing, especially in middle school.
Yeah,
Like
that's where I find it. That was the worst part. Like
yeah, that's usually the worst
13,
part of
14,
most people's
15.
adolescence. Oh yeah, that's the worst. You
Yeah, but
just start. You didn't just start. You just ended the first part of puberty, and you're like in the throes of it, and it's like changing chemicals in your mind, and then you get so depressed, you feel like no one understands you, and that's just the worst part of being a kid is 13, 14, 15, 16.
and that's actually true because people have even said they have psychological research about it. That's one of the biggest first crises you have. One of the first, I believe, not maybe
Yeah.
the first, but one of the first. And
Oh
like
yeah,
for
it's when
example,
you're
when I
that
was, I
that
was
those ages are when you're trying to really find yourself or figure yourself out, and that's the hardest time to go through is when you're not really sure who you are and you really want to figure it out, and you feel like no one else understands you or no one else in the world can you feel like you're the only person that's like you in any way, and then all of a sudden when you get about 17, 18, or 19, it starts to dissipate because you start to meet people and realize like, hey, there are some people that like the same things I do, and you know are just
yeah,
as
well,
weird as I am and stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that.
there's. And for example, if you compare yourself to others, which you always do, then you're getting so disappointed because I usually compare myself to other guys and they were cuter than me, and then that still happens sometimes. And I just got sad because I wasn't that cute.
Well, you don't gotta focus. You don't need to focus on who's cute or who's not or whatever like that. You know, I did. I really didn't. I just well, I did. When I was really young, and it really hurt me and affected me and stuff. But
But that's so weird. I was thinking that you would be jealous of someone because you're so cute. That is why.
no, not really. I
Yes.
was like, well, this is just how I am, and this is how they are, and you know, usually really, really good-looking people are normally gigantic assholes.
Only if they know it. You don't seem to know it. You aren't.
Well, yeah, I was, girls didn't like me. Before I always knew I was gay, even when I was very, very young. But, of course, I pretended, and I thought I fell
Oh
in
yeah.
love with some girls.
Because I
Like I'll
was.
get obsessed with a girl. You're like, oh, she's so pretty. I'd go, hey, you want, basically this is like puppy love kind of stuff. When you're late elementary school, early middle school, into mid middle school. Like when you're like, oh, you want to be my girlfriend? They're like, yeah. And then you'll be a girlfriend for like boyfriend for like a week or something, and then break up, and then go to someone else, or then you'll come back together. That kind of childish stuff.
Yeah,
And
I tried to get
girls
with
just didn't like
girls
me.
for. What you say?
Girls just didn't like me, and
How
I didn't
can
know
people
why.
not like you? Wait.
I don't know. It's just weird. Kids are cruel in school. Children are cruel.
Oh yeah, they are so awful. I would actually say that others are as well. They're just good at hiding it.
Oh yeah,
You just know that they are. They just people just doesn't stop being evil. They just understand that they are evil and understand that they shouldn't be, so they
yeah.
doesn't act
Children
like
are
them.
yeah. I know what you mean. Children are honestly cruel, and adults are cruel, but they hide it until they just slip up and say something horrifyingly horrible.
Oh yeah, there's something that when you see that girls in high school, they're so catty towards one another.
Oh yeah, girls in high school are they torture each other. I feel so.
Oh,
I
they
think it
do.
would be a million times worse to be a girl in high school because it would just, you'd be tortured all the time by other girls.
Yeah, but it kind of plays out later because then you have so much more opportunities.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of worth it, I would say. But
So what do you?
what
Oh,
was it?
sorry, but what do you study in school?
You you you.
Are you
I'm
studying
in
anything
high
particular?
school actually. No, I'm
Yeah,
high
yeah.
school.
I mean, yeah, I know it's
Just now
different
I
in
finished
where you're
my.
from. Is
I'm in
high
high
school
school my
similar?
senior year. Yeah, I just translate it to whoever I'm talking to, and I'm in my senior year at high school now.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of it's funny, but it's like I'm almost finished, and that's kind of great. And then I will later apply for a South African university in anthropology, and if I doesn't get into that, I will be a teacher instead, and then I
You
move
are
there.
over 18, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm now teen.
Okay, thank God. I didn't want to. You calling me cute and stuff. I didn't want to be breaking any international laws by
You
flirting
did
with
not
someone
want
underage.
to. You didn't want to break any laws.
Any flirting
But
with someone underage laws.
yeah, but then you can just say, "What? Hey guys, I'm a boyfriend. So it doesn't count."
Oh yeah, it still counts. And then the boyfriend's pissed off also.
Oh, that sucks.
Then you
Yeah,
break the law, and
but
the boyfriend's angry as hell.
yeah, because if you, for example, flirt with someone else, then the boyfriend is gonna get the boyfriend or girlfriend's getting angry. Flirt with someone who's below 18, then it's going to be more angry.
Oh yeah. I was
And
shocked to
that's
learn recently, these creeps that go after underage people, like, you know, do you know what is it in Spain and in Vatican City? I think in Spain it's been raised to like 14, or no, it's been raised to 16, but in Vatican City, it's still like 11 or 12 years old is the age of consent in Vatican City. I think it's been raised to 14 recently, but for like years when they got their constitution. They basically copied the Italian constitution and just revised it a little bit for their own purposes. And it's from 1919. They used the
oh, then it,
1919 constitution of Italy, and that allowed people that were 11, or I think it's 11 or 12. I think it's 12 though, to marry, and the age of consent is 12 basically, and that just shocked me. Of course, it has to be Vatican City with all the crazy, child molesting Catholics that have the lowest, age of consent laws on the planet. That was just
oh
so
yeah.
funny to me.
I know that my mom, she said basically, when people talk about it, she said that I don't understand why people are getting worked up about. When I was 13, I fucked a guy who was 18, and then I told my dad afterward. He was cool with it.
Well, yeah, if
But that
here in the
might
United
have to do
States,
with
if
her
you have your
dad being
parents'
Swedish.
permission, it's different.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because it's also because my mom's dad was Swedish, so
Yeah, I think if you're in the United States, I think if you're in the age range of like 15 to 17, you can, do that. No, yeah, no, it's 16 to 18. No, 16 to 17. Like, if you're 16, 17, you can't, have sex even with your parents' permission below 16. But if you're or get married. But if you're 16 and 17, then you can have sex and get married with your parents' permission, and with the other, of course, the other parents' permission too. If there's going to be two people, of course. And but once you're 18, you're free to do whatever you want to. But I think
I
that's
don't think
how the law is now. I'm not sure.
I don't think there's any EU nation when you're allowed to get married before you're 18. Well, except for Sweden, because then you're allowed to get married to your cousin if you're immigrants, if your religion says so, because they think it's offensive to deny it.
To your cousin?
Yeah, it was a woman who was a girl who was like 9 years old who was married to her adult cousin in Sweden because she was a migrant background, and they said that it was okay because they have different religious and cultural views.
Wow.
I'm not just making it up. I saw it as a TLD live stream. It's true.
That's crazy. It's like, no, your religion doesn't matter if you're in this country. We have and does Sweden have separation of church and state?
Yeah, they do.
They do, yeah. Well, laws shouldn't matter. Swedish laws. No, the religion shouldn't matter if Swedish law says that you cannot get married at a certain age.
Oh yeah, that's true. But the law, they just changed the law so that so that people would get married and if they're younger, because they say, oh, but this religion is culturally different, so it's okay. And like, no, can a 9-year-old consent to get married?
Well, what if another religion came in and they said, oh, it's our cultural tradition to chop off all the little girl's fingers and toes before she gets married or something. Some crazy stuff like that. The craziest thing you can think of. We cut her tongue out so she cannot speak bad against her husband before they get married.
Well,
Would they respect that, I wonder?
no, I don't think so, but
Hopefully
no, they
not.
wouldn't. But you get the point. If they were just an excuse because they are Islam fetishizer, which is different from Islam apologists, because
Oh, yeah.
apologist is someone who excuses it. I mean, like, I could be considered an Islam apologist because many Islam critic people are doing is like sometimes misguided, and they want to say that they're wrong. And if, for example, when it comes to all religions, I want the religion to fit in society as good as possible. I don't really want to impose it unless I really have to. You get it?
Oh, yes.
Because if the religion can just work well with society, then why would I have then I say that?
Oh,
No,
you
no,
might
no.
hear my dog in the other room screaming.
Uh,
I think
you
someone's
can,
at the
for
front door.
example,
Hold on one moment. I have to go and see who's at the front door. I'll be right back.
yeah, you can check the chat. Well, I had an encounter with a 16-year-old boy when I was 11. It was really something that should be left out since the guy's nickname is Crazy Josh. Oh yeah, it's something that should be left out, girl. It's something that should be left out. I don't want to see my face when I do this, so fucking close it off. Better. In Argentina, the majority of Arabs I meet were pro-Israel, disliked Muslims, and are Christian. They should ban Islamic migration. Yeah, I would say that from most countries, yeah. I wouldn't say from, for example, Lebanon, and not really Israel because Palestinians are still living in Israel technically, but they should ban Islamic immigration from most countries. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like before, talking about my extreme views, and something I want people to know is that I, in many ways, really despise migrants because they are taking my money that I want to use to have kids, and the government give them to them so they can have their own kids in the country that my ancestors built, and that is something that I believe it's quite disgusting, to be quite honest. And if they're taking advantage of that, then I could say that I'm in many ways strongly actually despise fucking migrants because I don't fuck migrants. They don't care. I don't care about them. I want my money. Share you say most states you can screw a 50-year-old if you are at 16. Oh my god, it's fucked up. But it kind of makes sense looking at the role.
Someone had pulled up at the sawmill instead. That's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. If you look at the chat, I can see Hellbound. She mentioning a guy that was white, had like orange fuzz, and he was like orange facial hair, and had a pissed off attitude. It's like the Islamic guy who's like an insane. He's like Islamic and insane. He's like a ginger as well.
Oh, really?
You know that? Have you seen that guy?
The evil gingers. Apparently,
No,
gingers are evil. Apparently.
have you seen the ginger Muslim?
Oh, hold on. My birds are screaming. Let me just cover them up with a blanket, and I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's this guy. It's this guy. Oh, he's fucking crazy. Halal, 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 shala, halal, 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 shala, halal, halal, shala, halal, shala, halal. I should stop doing this. I'm weird. I'm really, really fucking weird right now. I'm really weird.
What are you doing the halal 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 thing for?
Yeah, because look at these pictures. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Oh God, he is a ginger jihadi.
He's a ginger jihadi.
Wow, I didn't know that. Did he immigrate there or move there? Because he
No, he
couldn't
was
have
like
been
from.
born there.
I think it was something to do with like uh, the United Kingdom and their immigration policy.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, that's so weird. I mean, like, he was like featured in Sargon's This Week in Stupid.
Oh really? So
Yeah, also
Sargon did a whole story on him.
oh, he did. I was like, I usually call him Sargon of Have You Ever Read Lock Akkad? That's funny. I really think it's so sad when people are like saying something that's like so bad, and that becomes a meme.
Do you like Sargon of Akkad?
Yeah, I like him. I kind of do, but I think he's so stupid in some ways. But I still like him.
Yeah, I mean, he has really good content that really tries to explain as detailed as he possibly can. But sometimes he leaves a lot out that he should not leave out.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I usually don't care about that. I just think that he could be quite. I just don't like the liberalist shit because that's so unnecessary.
Oh yeah,
Because, I mean, like, if you really want to advocate for something more important, then I have become an intactivist. You can just be that. And if you want to advocate for something else, then
an
be a.
intactivist.
It's someone who wants to advocate for the ban on any form of involuntary genital cutting or on non-consensual parties.
Oh, okay. Involuntary genital
If
cutting on non-consenting parties. So, genital, like like genital mutilation and stuff like that.
yeah, all form of circumcision, genital cutting, castration, forced castration, forced sterilization, which actually
Okay.
happens still, which is completely
Wow.
awful. I'm planning to do a video about that. I don't want to go into the topic. I'm going to talk about people being sterilized. I don't know,
Yeah.
castrated as when they're kids, and that's so
I was
fucking
circumcised
disgusting.
when I was a baby, like a few days after I was born, and it wasn't even a religious thing with us. It's just something that here in the States, especially if you
Oh, I know.
come from a non-denominational family, you're not really religious. It's just kind of done just because it would look weird because everybody else has it done, and
I,
like
I
if
know. I know what that's come from. If you, I was interested in anthropology. It's a type.
yes, I love anthropology.
Yeah, it's a form of harmful cultural practice.
Yes, it's more cultural than it is religious in any way.
And if you call it a harmful cultural practice, it's because it's harming the individual generally. Even though
Yeah,
many people don't mind it, it's still a
yeah.
harmful cultural practice.
Yeah, like I don't
And
mind
that
it. It
is,
didn't ever, it didn't, hurt me in any way as far as I know, and they didn't botch it or anything. It looks fine to me, and I've seen
I mean,
worse. I've seen people that have
I know it.
circumcisions that just don't look right sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's true. As you have seen, have you seen a lot of dicks? No, I was going to continue the bargain. Yeah, I know that
enough
you
to
are.
enough to know that some don't look like the others.
I just want to see some guy with a really swung in his dick. That's kind of cool. But whatever. Mine is so straight when it's hard. It's funny. But yes, drop the dicks. Drop the dicks. Like Caitlyn Jenner. No, yeah, just kidding. Uh,
Oh, like these people that put piercings, like the Prince
oh no,
Albert
no,
piercings. That
no,
is horrifying.
I don't want to go into those degenerates. I was going to
That's the weirdest thing.
They bring with harmful, yeah, it is the harmful cultural. I'm not weird, but not going to that. The harmful cultural practice, and that is that I know that you are basically like a really settler, indigenous, native white American.
Yeah, my family can trace
I know
our
that.
family tree back to 1630 or 1640 something in the southern U.S., like around South Carolina, North Carolina, and Alabama. And then my father's side of the family has like my great grandmother on my father's side was 100% Cherokee Indian, and she married a white man. And so I've got Cherokee Indian in me, and then a lot
You
of
know,
Irish and Scottish and a bunch of other stuff.
you know what you know what you call when you have are mostly European and a little bit Native American.
Oh, what would that be called?
You call it castizo.
Castizo?
Castizo.
Castizu?
Castizo.
Castizu.
I can spell it in the Spanish. I spell it.
Cast,
It's I'm not
castizu. Castizu. Castizu.
no castizo. Cast and iso. Castizo.
Oh, castizu. Oh, okay.
Oh, so Lord Cancer St. George del Cancer had a grinder send him a picture of pierced cock. He never asked for it, knew about him and blocked him. Yeah,
Isn't it strange?
whenever guys send me
You know.
dick pics I don't like, then I just block them afterward.
Oh yeah. It's so strange how people think sending a dick pic to somebody is gonna make them like them or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there was like some really hot dick, and it was a really hot guy that was like, and
Well,
was
maybe.
like so hot,
I've never met
then
a
I was
girl
like,
that's like, oh yeah, send me a dick pic. That makes me so hot. Like girls just hate it, and I don't know why these straight guys think girls like that, because it's really
no.
strange.
I mean, like, I don't even like it.
Oh yeah, it's like it's really annoying, and it's like really forward, and it's like, come on, dude, that's not what I want. I came here to say hi, and all of a sudden you're showing me your junk.
I like the term junkie so awesome because I fucking love those dicks. They're just so awesome, and I like them so white as well. It's so hot. I was called a racist because I only wanted to date white guys, and then I said, "Then what? Does that make me a sexist because I only
Yeah,
want
that's
to
just your
date them?"
preference. Yeah, that's just your
He's
preference.
like, he's like, no, and I was like, then you're a hypocrite. No, because sexuality decides what gender you like,
Exactly.
and white
Attraction, the laws of
decides
attraction.
your gender. And was like, what
It's like, do you
the
expect me
fuck?
to date someone or marry someone that I'm totally not attracted to sexually, physically, or mentally
Well,
whatsoever? I mean, these people just don't care what you think personally. These crazy people that say that kind of stuff. They just
those
want,
SGWs.
yes, like Riley Dennett says that kind of thing. Oh, if you don't want to have sex with a transgender person and you're
Then
a
you're
straight man,
discriminatory. And I
yeah,
was
then you're
like, oh,
discriminating against us.
you know what it's called to have anti-discrimination when it comes to sex? It's
Oh,
called
what?
rape.
Eep.
Rape.
Oh, I thought you were trying to teach me another word. Rape. I thought you
No,
said
but I
eep.
can say what rape. No, rape. It's you're raping
Yeah.
someone. That's called, if it doesn't let someone discriminate in bedrooms, then that's rape. By definition, it
Yes,
must
yes.
be. And something you want to know what rape means in Swedish?
Oh, what?
It means våldtäkt.
Voltect. Voltect.
Våldtäkt.
Oh, with
I
a
can
V.
spell it in the
Voltect.
yeah. I can spell it, but it's going to take a long time to spell because it requires
Oh,
a
yeah, one
different
second.
letter.
Oh, it was my brother and everybody coming in from my niece's birthday party.
Oh.
I'll be right back in 1 second. It'll just take me like a minute.
I'll be checking out the chat in the meantime. Who was that one guy who was circumcised, baby raised as a girl by his family, transitioned back into a guy, although they tried to kill him? and tried killing the guy that fucked up his life. I'm kind of sad that he didn't kill him, but he did commit suicide, and that was probably sometimes the best, because forced transition have a 99.8% chance to cause gender dysphoria. And people who advocate for involuntary cutting of intersex children are disgusting, awful people, and parents who do this to their children should be fucking murdered. I'm sorry, but they're just so fucking disgusting. You doesn't sex change your child. It's wrong. That's what interactivism is sort of about. No involuntary cutting on non-consensual parties. That's it. I scrap. Volfox asked, "What are your thoughts on Sarah Meyer?" I believe it's something she does. I believe that her opinion seems not really that changed, to be honest, because she has always not. She's never really been opposed to the idea of people being non-binary, and she has always wanted to explore it. She was just opposed to the way the SJWs were going about it, and she believed sort of that people who were that she have like made a picture of non-binary people that she didn't want to make. That made sure that she was anti-non-binary, even though she wasn't. I mean, actually, she never was. She was just against C16 because she didn't want people to force it, even though she believed that non-binary people are real and will call them whatever they want. She thought that and she wants to apologize because she believed that she had made bad remarks against those people, which I can understand, even though I think it's kind of stupid. My opinion would be that non-binary people could sort of be valid in some ways if you say that they might be valid as binary trans people. What I mean with that is that there might be transgender for the opposite sex, but that their dysphoria is less severe, so that they would be fixed in air quotes, and just by not I don't know, without presenting as exactly the opposite sex. They would be fine with not being, which they wouldn't have dysphoria, and then they would probably be fine with transition, even though it didn't really succeed well, if you know what I mean. Does this make sense?
Oh yeah.
Do you hear what I say?
Yeah, I was listening to you the whole time. I just was on
Oh,
mute
you were.
because people were just talking. You know, I was in the kitchen making tea, and everybody was around me talking, so I didn't want everybody to be gibbering and jabbering in the background while you were talking.
Yeah, I don't really think that she takes it too. I think that she takes it a little bit longer than what I would take it, but not really that far. For
Oh,
example,
she takes it way too far, is what you're saying.
no, not really that too far. Only just a little bit further than I would take it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't really.
What is a little bit further that she takes it that you wouldn't take it? Where does she take it that you wouldn't?
She said that it's valid, and I say that it's not as non-binary people are valid as binary trans people, but not as non-binary people.
Oh yeah.
That I mean that if they start transitioning to the other gender and doesn't end up looking all like the other gender, but more like the other gender, and they would be fine with that because they might not have complete gender dysphoria, but more gender dysphoria in that way, like gender dysphoria light. So they will
Oh
be
yeah.
okay with being
It
the
would be
opposite sex, but
mild,
not
is what you
completely.
mean. It would be mild gender dysphoria.
Yeah, and some of them might be comfortable just like dressing up once in a while and think that's funny, and they will like be okay with being their own gender. But
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think that it's like the same thing as trans people. Not it might be if they would be better at the opposite sex, but this might not. But I don't think that being non-binary itself is valid. But I feel that non-binary people could be valid as trans people and have some sort of dysphoria that would require transition, but they would be fine with by not transition completely, just transition mostly, and
Yeah.
some of them might just feel it a little bit of time, but there might not be that much of a big deal. For example, I know a girl, she didn't have gender dysphoria, but she liked, for example, she liked to be called by a boy's name
Oh, okay.
and be like a boy in some way, even though she didn't want to transition to a boy. So I believe that she might have some sort of what people would call as the non-binary people having dysphoria, but doesn't
But
really
a lot
dysphoria. You know,
milder.
yeah, what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean, like,
she
that's
has it,
how
but a
far I
lot
would say.
milder than usual. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't really have it anymore because she likes being a girl. She just was gender fluid, for example. She
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
be like a boy and dress like a boy sometimes. I don't really think that's. I think that it might be some dysphoric feeling to it, but I don't really think
Oh
that
yeah.
non-binary and gender fluid are evaluated to be the same to as certain things. But I'm not really that far off what she
Yeah.
thinks. You get what I
Like
mean?
trying it on for style a little bit.
Yeah, and for example, be okay with and somebody who is non-binary inadequate might want to transition, but not like complete the process and still be happy at being referred to as the opposite sex.
Oh yeah.
There
Yeah.
are there are like regular trannies, but they doesn't really have the complete dysphoria, but they still have to transition.
Yeah. So the person who actually helped me start YouTube and stuff, and I was YouTube partners with. No, no, it was, but I am YouTube partners with is Red Fox, WRED. You know, Fox, and she used to be a boy, and now she is a girl, and she's on hormones and stuff, and yeah, she's someone who agrees with a lot of what so-called like she believes that it's dysphoria and stuff, but she is not like militant. She's really, really like centrist and right wing in some ways.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You would
But
like to
I
talk
would
to
say
her.
that
She's really good to talk to.
oh, I would like to do that. And Hellbon said she might be a tomboy. Yeah, she probably is a tomboy. She doesn't
Oh
really
yeah.
have this where she is allowed to be like a boy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that most people are who call themselves non-binary are really have dysphoria. But I mean that some people might have that mild dysphoria and might have to transition, but they will probably be a lot happier even though it doesn't present fully as the opposite sex. That's just what I've thought.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, somebody is non-binary. Oh, and within the non-binary, okay, that's fine. I mean, like if you want to call yourself whatever you want. I personally don't call people who are non-binary. I think of them as the sex they are, or can just pick one, or I just believe they look like. But if somebody is non-binary and use the non-binary pronouns or whatever, then I would say it
Oh
to
yeah.
their face if they are nice people, even though I don't
Lonely
really.
Wolf. Are you mentioning Lonely Wolf 1980s tweet? I mean his
Yeah,
message.
yeah, and I will also say that other people I met who call themselves non-binary. I'm okay with. I'm not really in favor of it, and I don't even call them that. I don't think of them as non-binary, but I would refer to them as whatever pronouns they wanted to if they were respectful. I met
Oh,
someone who was like,
Lonely Wolf 1980. You said you were asexual last night, I believe, or was that something else I'm thinking of? Are you asexual? But anyway, continue until he answers the question. What
oh
were you
yeah,
saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
no, I just believe that if someone call themselves, they just call themselves whatever pronouns they want, if they're kind people. But if they're assholes, then I don't.
Oh yeah,
And something go back to Sarah is that she said that many people who she met called themselves non-binary. They were like people who was just female presenting females only did it for a political position, and she wanted to
yes,
apologize to those people that if because she, not the other people, said it, just she felt bad about that some non-binary people were lumped in with other non-binary people, even though I think they're the same. But she herself believed that some of them are valid, so she
yes.
felt bad because she might. I mean, like I understand why she would feel bad if she had those opinions,
Oh yeah,
and she
naturally,
has
she would feel really bad.
yeah, and then I believe that then I believe that that I understand why she would do it. I mean, like she has always had these opinions. She's always
Yes.
done. She said, if you have watched her own all the live stream, and she said even in the anti-C16 videos that she wants to explore all different identities, but if someone wants to make it the law that people should force call you your pronouns, then she said that they're, well, fuck you, then I don't want to call you anything. Then fuck
Oh
you,
yeah.
because then she doesn't respect them. But if someone else, that she still believe it. She's always done it. So, but I still understand why she would make the video, because she have she have presented it in a way that she didn't want to
Oh,
present it.
what's her name again? I didn't I don't remember her. What's her name and channel name?
Saren Meyer.
Oh, Theron. Yeah, I've actually talked to Theron before.
Yeah, she's so nice. I really like it because she does some good MRA videos
Yeah,
sometimes, and I really
she is
appreciate that.
really good.
Yeah, but I understand why she would make that statement, because I don't really think that she changed her opinion so much. I used to believe that she had just clarified what she actually believes.
Oh yeah. It
And some
seems like she
people who are
does.
like, yeah, and some people are, that, for example, um, stop being an SJW goes like completely hard R without really being right wingers, even though she's
Yeah.
just that when it comes to economics, and sometimes because she wanted to be a 50s housewife, I believe. I'm not sure, so doesn't,
A
because
50s housewife.
many trans women actually want to, but she's not really. She's very very center, because I mean, like, she's basically like me, but slightly more to the right economic, and slightly more to the left when it comes to social, which means more right and left. But I'm
Oh
more to the
yeah.
left in economic and more right when it comes to social. So I'm basically like her. We are very
Yeah.
similar, but this basically because it's a divide as a line, and we are basically we are basically on the really side of the line. I usually call her right wing, not because I think that she's, when it comes to social issues, she's basically just right wing when it comes to economics and
Oh yeah.
some personal choices when it comes to social issues. So I
Yeah,
think that it was
I
good.
haven't really kept up with her videos a lot lately, but the last time I did, the couple I saw were amazing, and she has really good opinions on a lot of subjects, especially, the transgender subject because she is one. But, she has a lot of good insight on the subject, especially how long she's been transitioning or whatever you call it. I don't know if that's the politically correct term, but
It is,
she,
but it's something you have to know what you know, political. You know what being politically correct actually mean?
Oh, what?
It actually means that the term political correctness was created and coined by Mao Zedong to
Wow.
to people who agreed with the communist regime, and politically incorrect was people who opposed the communist regime. So it's inherently a communist statement and opinion of the
Yeah,
concept of being
especially
politically correct.
a dictatorial statement, especially.
Yeah, it is a communist dictatorial concept inherently. It's
Hmm.
inherently communist. It's a
Yeah,
communist.
I never heard the origin of
That is the
that
origin. That
phrase.
is actually what it means. So people say you need to
Hmm.
be politically correct. They are advocating for a communist idea. That's just how it is. I
Oh
know I
yeah.
sound like a right-wing conspiracy American theorist, but
Oh
whatever.
no. I think I've heard someone mention that before, but I never knew it until now.
But
It
it's
sounds
it's true.
familiar.
It's true.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
But
Oh, I believe you. I'm just like I've never heard it before though. Who there's an other popular phrase that Joseph Stalin said, isn't there? There's something along those lines that Joseph Stalin said. I forgot what it was.
yeah, but he basically should have used the same thing, because the concept of being politically correct is a communist idea.
Yeah.
So he basically did it as well. Being non-communist is politically incorrect. Being communist is politically correct. That's what it means.
Yes. Oh, and I would hate to live in China.
Oh, I
I
would
could
rather live
probably
in
live
South
in Hong
Africa.
Kong, but I could not live in China.
No, neither would I. Fuck that. People talk only Chinese, and all the things are written only Chinese.
Yeah.
We couldn't really live in China.
In Hong Kong, though, they got, since it was ruled by the British until 1995, I believe.
It's the
And
roaming millennial town.
yeah,
That's so funny. I like Roman Millennial. She's nice.
Roaming millennial.
Yeah, you know, she's nice.
Uh, I, if that's the one I'm thinking about, I've had some bad conversations with her before where she seems like she has no idea what she's talking about. She might be nice, but she has a lot of beliefs that I think are childish and idiotic.
Yeah, like what?
For example, what was it? That we were arguing, like me and Chrissy Valentine, somebody else. Oh, Gamergate and video games. You know, the whole Anita Sarkeesian thing and Gamergate and stuff. She was talking about how, there needs to be more black characters and other races in video games and stuff. And I
Who
told
did
her,
that?
well, yeah, Roman Millennial, she was arguing on the side of there should be a lot more diversity in video games and stuff. I mean, they basically should force it
Who?
in. Roaming
No,
Millennial said
it
that.
might be a different person because she would never do this.
I think so. Let me go look on my Twitter. I think it's still there.
I mean, like she
This
have
was just like a
over.
month or two ago.
I mean, like she have over 200,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah. Chair has had some run-ins with her too. If it's the person I'm thinking about.
But I don't think it is because that really doesn't sound like her at all.
Roaming Millennial. Yeah, it might not be her. It might be someone else I'm thinking about.
It probably is. Can you just? I can. Should I
It
just?
might be her, but I'm not sure.
Should
I
I
think it
show
might
the?
be another. Oh, should you show what?
Yeah, I can show a channel if you want to.
Oh, whose? Hers?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, sure.
I send it. I send it in the live stream chat so everybody can see.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just found it. I'm following her. I think. Yeah, I'm following her. I found it.
Yeah, is it really her?
I think it was somebody else that had the same, like millennial, like feminine or something like that.
Yeah, because you Roman millennial, she's real. She's not. She's basically. She's really not a feminist.
Oh, okay. Because there was some other like really left wing,
No,
like
Roman
regressive left
millennial.
wing person that had the millennial thing in their name, and I think it was someone trying to copy roaming millennial's name a little bit, I believe, if that's the case.
Yeah, because Roman millennial, she's a conservatarian.
Oh, okay.
So we know basically it's conservative libertarian. So she's very right wing.
Oh yeah.
She's the girl who talked to who she talked to Miley Stewart. She talked to Iman Tawiti. She talked to Richard Spencer. She talked to Christina Hoffsummers.
Ooh.
And so many people freaked out because she talked to all these people. Everybody's like, no, you can't talk to these people. They have bad opinions. Oh my god. I mean, she's like Andy Borsky. She talks to people with opinions all over the place. I can't say that they are closed-minded because they are really open to all opinions.
Who are your favorite 10 big YouTubers that you watch on a constant basis? Or not 10, just give me 5 then, or 4. Like your biggest top 5 or something.
Should it be in a specific genre or just generally?
Yeah. Let's see. Video games. Who's your top 2 in video games? Like if you watch video game like Let's Plays or uh what's the
I
other
do watch
category?
lore video.
I like role plays. Have you ever watched Arma 3 Project Life role plays where it's like a whole like map and they have police officers that play real police officers and you play a civilian and then they pull you over the time. It's like GTA. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5 online, but it's Grand Theft Auto role play online thing. It's really cool. It's
No, I don't really
hilarious.
know. I don't really know a Bible game, but if you want to play it on a live stream, then we can watch it together. It would be funny.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Someday that would be cool.
Oh yeah, it would be. I just need to get something to drink. So can you entertain the chat in the meantime?
Of course. Let me get to the video. Here we go, and I can talk to the chat, and they can ask questions, or I can read out what they've been saying. Let's see.
That's good. I'll be back in a minute. Wait.
Okay. Okay, Lonely Wolf 1980 said asexual also, or asexual too. Non-binary is a bit misleading though. Androgyny or a shaman-like person is more accurate. Oh, okay. I get you. And Hellbound, I'll wait until you get back before I read yours because they're directed toward Jay Willie. Games being judged for whether or not they have enough trans women of color in wheelchairs. ... No thanks. Yeah, the whole problem with that is, you know, each market is targeted toward the majority in that population. So games that are released in China or Asia are usually targeted and have characters in the games that are Asian, Chinese, I know Asian and Chinese is the same thing, but China is the biggest market in Asia. And so those are the, people you're going to get in the game, the characters. Like in the West, in Europe, the European countries that are majority white or Caucasian, or the United States, most of the lead characters in video games are white males because that is the demographic that the companies want to push these games on. And these people just don't seem to understand that. Like, it's not like, oh, what's wrong? And they always say, what's wrong with having, are you racist? What's wrong with having someone of color in a video game? And I'm always like, it's not a problem. I would love anyone to be in a video game as long as it makes sense in the story and it's done well. Just like a video game with white people in it. If the story sucks and the game isn't done well, then it's going to suck no matter who's in it. But, it doesn't matter who is in the game or what the person is or where they come from, as long as the storyline of the video game is done correctly and the gameplay is really easy, to get a grasp of. Like if it's too difficult to get a grasp of, the thousands of tabs you have to pull down and stuff, like in a RPG survival game or something, like, or a multiplayer online survival game like Ark or Rust or something like that, then, I like games, if you're someone who has a problem with people of a different race being in a game or something, if you're one of these triggered people for certain, that puzzles me why they're triggered. But if you're one of these people, then why don't you play games where you can pick your own character and make your own character, like Fallout 4. You can make your character look exactly like yourself, so you are more involved and more invested in the character, and it gives a sense of immersion. And mostly Bethesda games do this. Like Fallout 4, of course, Skyrim, Oblivion, all the Elder Scrolls games mostly, and games where you create your own character model and make them look like yourself and stuff. I think that's the solution to the problem. If they're so angry with like main characters like Lara Croft and etc., etc., then just play games that you can build your own character in. Don't just try to ruin everything for everyone else just because you want some weird utopian future where, everybody has equal time. It's not like a presidential debate in 1960. No one gets equal time. It's all about how much money these, game corporations can make, and they can make a ton more money by pushing toward the demographic that they're trying to sell to in each region, in each continent, in each country. Well, I did too. Wait, what's going on? Old fashioned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Hellbound says, well, I did, after Lonely Wolf said, I'm old fashioned, games should be judged on how much shit you can kill. And then Hellbound says, well, I did tune in what? Oh, I did tune into some of the Tree of Logic versus Richard Spencer debate. I am probably scared of a lot of Spencer's ideas, and I do have some cognitive dissonances. Or he means, or she means dissidence.
I believe
And then
that.
Hellbound also. Oh, hold on. Hellbound also said, "How do you come to terms with holding two different beliefs at the same time?" Question mark. And I think she was talking to Lonely Wolf. I'm not sure. She might have been talking to me, but I'm not sure. But
No,
anyway,
but if Lonely Wolf said that he or they were non-binary and old-fashioned, then that's two different beliefs, I think.
oh that might be what she's talking about then.
I believe I'm just speculating. I'm not sure.
Because I was just ranting about video games and stuff while you were gone.
Oh, I love playing Warcraft. World of Warcraft is so funny.
Oh, I've always wanted to play, but I just thought it was horrible that they made you get a subscription and made you pay to play the thing. That just
Yeah,
annoyed me so much.
yeah. So I think that's true, but I also believe that if you pay for 1 month, then you can just not not pay for it again until, for example, several months later.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like if you can play one gaming card, play it, and then you play a month, and then you can just stop it and then start a long time afterwards.
I'm addicted to these survival online multiplayer games like 7 Days to Die, Rust. What's the other one? Ark. Ark Survival with the dinosaurs and stuff. That one's really fun. And then the other kind of video
Did,
games I'm addicted to are like stuff that immerses you in the world. Like Fallout 4, it makes you feel like you're there. You build the character to look like yourself, and then you go after your baby Sean, or like Bethesda's Skyrim, like Bethesda's Skyrim series, Elder Scrolls and stuff. It really puts you in the world, and those are the kind of games I like.
yeah, that sounds basically just what Warcraft does.
Oh yeah, it puts you in the world and makes you feel a part of it, and then uh, what it's mostly isn't World of Warcraft like a questing game? You go on quests or something?
Yeah, you do it, but then you get a raiding group and raid and kill bosses
Oh,
after
okay.
you're
And
min-max
are
level.
they AI bosses or are they like bosses that are player bosses?
No, they are AI bosses, but you can go PvP and then you play at people from the opposite factions, but there are two factions.
Hmm.
It's like opposite who can attack each other.
Yeah, I never got into World of Warcraft. I wish I did because it always looked fun. It's just I never played it out of protest because I thought it was just silly to make people pay a subscription for a game.
But it's because it's so fucking awesome and you don't even have to pay that off. You can just pause it if you don't want to pay it anymore.
The game's not looking dated these days. It's been out for a long time.
Yeah, but they're updating it all the time, and now it's getting good again.
Oh, really? So they updated the graphics and
Yeah,
stuff like
and
that
they
too?
have made the game better, so it's easier. No, it's not easy, but it's like better again
It's
because
more
they made it
forgiving
worse
to
before.
play. Oh, yeah.
No, not more forgiving, but more so that people like to play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
Because
always wanted to
first
play it.
because some before sometimes they made the game worse when they updated it, but now they made the game better by updating it.
Hmm. When was the last update? Like recently?
They update it all the time.
Oh,
They
yeah.
updated in this month, and they are going to release a new expansion the end of
Oh.
this year. So they are basically releasing new expansions, and they're basically an entire new game.
So basically, they just keep adding DLCs and expansions onto it. How come they just don't make a World of Warcraft 2?
Oh yeah, because the other people, this game is bringing so much money, it's going so great, and it's being better and better for every year. The
Imagine
game had a
like a second one though, where it's like 20 times better graphics and it's so realistic and
no, it doesn't really need better graphic because it's people like it this way.
oh, okay. So it's like people that because a lot of the people that I know play it that I've known started playing it when they were in like middle school or high school, and
Yeah,
or depending on how old they are, and they have a nostalgic like love for the game.
yeah, I do too. I started to play the game, 2007.
Oh yeah, that was around the time it came out. When did it come out? It came out in
No,
2004.
yeah, 4.
Yeah, 2004. That's what I thought. Yeah, because it's been out for a
But
long time.
oh yeah, I'm more interested in the gaming storyline. So I have my playlist that tells the tale of the entire storyline,
Ooh.
and
So there's like an
I'm
underlying like storyline plot throughout the whole thing
yeah,
too.
it is. I can send it to you if you. I'm going to send it in the in the chat.
Or you can just send it to my DMs, on Twitter. Unless
No,
any,
because
I'm sure everybody else in the chat would love to see it too.
yeah, it's on my channel, but I know that you will like that you will that everybody will like it as well. So I show it there. It tells the tale from the beginning to the end, not to the present day, and
Oh yeah.
and they have made seasons of it, and it is about um 12 seasons of storyline,
Wow.
and some of this is even before the game, and they
And they
use the
keep adding
game,
on to it.
yeah, and it's getting better quality.
Hmm. And this avatar you use, your avatar here, is this from a
Oh,
game?
it's no, it's from the game. It's a model you can that exists in the game, and I
Oh, so
used the
this is
model
from
in
World of Warcraft.
yeah, but it's not a playable character because I didn't want
Oh,
that.
okay. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. I believe it is.
I really like it. It's something you made yourself
No, it's a game
or something you
model
found.
that exists, but it doesn't. It's not any character in game, so I could use it.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen my video?
I've seen a bunch of your videos. I've watched several of them, I think.
Nice.
Like five, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if I've seen that one specifically, but I have seen a bunch of them.
Which one do you like the most?
Let me look through them and see, because I can't remember the names of them right off the top of my head. So let me take a look.
Someone, yeah,
Um,
he's saying chat that someone said that they were afraid of witches spent at you, and I would say, and that's I am too. I believe that he's kind of stupid in many ways. He doesn't want an ethno-state is the racial state, and that's not stable. It just leads to purity spiraling. And ethno-state based on ancestry, like Israel, is better because then you doesn't have to have the same skin color because the Cape colors they are Germanic descent, while Slavic people aren't. So the
oh,
Cape colored part of wouldn't be part of a white ethno state, but they would part of a Germanic ethno state. I believe that that's more preferable, to be honest.
oh yeah. But most of your
I'm
videos,
like,
the ones I've watched were the 9 months ago, the one talking about slavery. I've watched that one, and then 8 months ago, your rant on the French election,
oh,
and
that I like
mostly
that.
the political stuff, because a lot of the games that you play, like Diablo 2 and 3 and stuff like that, I'm not really that into. So I didn't watch a bunch of those. I think I watched one, maybe. I forgot which one.
Have
But
you
most
seen
of
my
the things
new?
I watched on your channel are the other ones, the political ones.
Nice. I'm like that. Have you seen the newest one I made? My new response video. It's 54 minutes long.
Um, Janice Fiamingo versus self-defeating feminists.
Yeah, that one.
I think I watched 10 minutes of it, and then something happened, and I had to stop. But yeah, I need to watch the rest of that. It was what I saw of it so far. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. I've likely have gotten some positive feedback of it. I know that a YouTuber called A Mad Woman Uses. She actually she actually commented on it, and she promoted my channel on her live stream. I was like, oh my god, this is
Wow.
so awesome! It was so awesome.
And it's only 6 days old, and you got 96 views on it. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually.
Oh, it is. But I watched it myself a couple of times. Whenever I respond to a comment, I just watch it, then I let it
Oh
play.
yeah.
So I believe that I might have helped, but still.
And your French election video from 8 months ago has 201 views, and your talking about slavery video has 200 views. That's really good.
Wait, that's oh my god, I didn't even notice this. That's awesome.
Oh wow, and this Diablo 3 Act 1. No, no, not that one. Diablo 3 Act 1 Vala Kane Liz Demon Hunter 14 has got 1,000 views.
That's kind of cool. I didn't even know this.
That is pretty cool. You've got more views than I do.
Yeah, but that's
I need to
because
I need to pump in some of these Diablo games and just talk about them, even though I don't know anything about them. Get me some views.
yeah, I mean you can. I mean, like if you wanted to, you can use post videos to your channel if you
Oh
too.
no, I was just kidding. I was kidding.
Yeah, no, but I just wanted to play along with it. But oh my god, I got 90 subscribers. That's awesome.
Oh, you do? You do? Oh my
Shit.
God. And we've got 5 people watching right now consistently. 5 people. That's really good.
Yeah, I never even had that before. It's kind of cool. Share you, but you're still going. Lol.
Yeah, you've got 90 subscribers. I subscribed to you like 10 minutes ago because I realized on Dead Kyle's YouTube page, I'm subscribed to you on my real YouTube account with my real name, but I just
Me
realized a little
too.
while ago I wasn't subscribed to you, so I subscribed to you real quick on here.
I'm also subscribed to myself on my YouTube channel on my
Oh yeah,
private.
oh yeah, I did that too. You have to, you have to just to
Yeah,
get.
of course you do. Or
Yeah,
else you're kind of stupid.
it's too
That I
tempting.
think that. Oh yeah, it really is. I even subscribe with my parents' accounts too. But I not share you. He subscribed to my channel just as well. He's the biggest one I know subscribes.
Oh really? That's pretty cool.
But he subscribes
Yep,
to you.
here we're still going.
Yeah, share.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got to record something for Chair before we go on his live stream, and his live stream starts in uh, well, let's see, in 2 hours. So I probably do need to wrap it up and go.
Okay, but in how long time can we talk now?
We can probably talk for another 30 minutes. It'd be fine, and it'll only take me like 5 to 10 or 15, 20 minutes to record whatever Chair that eulogy thing he wants me to record. So we can stay for another. I can stay for another 30 minutes.
Yeah, that will work because then we can end it after that. But it's kind of cool that share you subscribe. But YouTube is so fucking funny. I really like it.
It's really. It used to be even more fun back when because a lot of sometimes like I've noticed like in the past 3 or 4 days that I was unsubscribed from people that I thought I was previously subscribed to, and I've had to go through every person that I subscribed to on all my channels and look, and then I've noticed that probably about out of 200 subscriptions I have, probably about 10 or 15 people have been unsubbed from me automatically without my permission, and I don't, and YouTube has a problem with randomly throwing subscriptions away from people for some reason.
But yeah, I don't like that they're doing it, but I also doesn't really mind it because I don't really because if I don't want to subscribe to someone, I felt like so mean by pressing unsubscribe, so I just ignore it until YouTube does it for me.
Oh yeah.
You subscribe to his channel, I never watch it. I'm just not gonna watch them and still be
Yeah, I've always
subscribed
wondered why
because
they did that.
it's me. Yeah, me too. Like empty accounts or something.
Because it's really random.
Because like
Sometimes, they'll like unsubscribe you from a channel that you were like, oh yeah, they probably have a vendetta against this person because their channel is like really like crazy, and then all of a sudden you'll get unsubscribed from like something really tame like Good Mythical Morning or something. You're like, why? So it doesn't have a rhyme or reason to it whatsoever.
I believe that that's not general, but I believe that God Mythical Morning, they are kind of degenerate in one way.
Yeah, I can't watch them anymore. They used to be good, but now they like it seems like they just sold out and they do like 20 videos a day. It seems like they chop their videos up so much, and they go on Jimmy Fallon late, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon all the time, and I can't stand him. And I can't stand watching Good Mythical Morning anymore.
No, neither can I. I know that when South Park they made fun about Jimmy Fallon. They used to
Oh,
make South Park when they make a character of someone that's so fucking amazing. It's so
yeah, that
funny.
is. I love it when they do that because they do it better than anybody else.
You see, wait, are they really mean? Oh my god, someone who does it really well. It's Saitan.
Oh yeah, I think they even do it better than The Simpsons do. The Simpsons used to be, what South Park is
Yeah,
now. And
But South Park is much better and
oh
much
yeah,
more
yeah,
cruel.
oh yeah. South Park really takes it to a totally next level.
You know that time when Christopher Reeves were like eating fetuses to get
Yes,
super power. His enemy was Gene Hackman, who played Lex Luthor.
in the movie, yeah.
Christopher Reeves, he was the villain, and Gene Hackman was the good guy. It was like, God, the irony is so amazing. And they had like a super villain meetup where they had all super villains, including Osama bin Laden and General Mr. Ray and Professor Chaos with Butters and his friend.
Oh, I love Butters. I think Butters might be my favorite character.
Yeah, I feel bad. Butters, his parents are so mean,
Oh yeah,
but that's
especially
funny.
his father.
Oh my God, he's fucking insane. But talking about people who have like who do characters of people so perfectly. You know who Saitan is?
Saitan. I don't think so.
Oh my God, you have to see Saitan. You have
How do you
to.
spell the name?
He
Is
is
it uh SYI, or how do you spell
no.
this?
I send it in the.
Oh, okay. So I can look there.
So amazing. Saitan. Oh my God, he's so funny. He makes characters of all. He's basically an atheist. Um, to make characters of people who's a cartoon, and he's doing so perfectly.
Oh,
He made
yes, I've
characters.
seen a few of these. Yeah, I've seen a few of these.
He have
I didn't know
made
who did them
characters.
though.
He made characters of Paul Joseph Watson, Milo Stewart, Chris Reagan, Linda Sarsour, Tommy Robinson. He's made of Diane Abbott. He's made of Meryl Streep, Riley Dennis.
Wow.
He's even made one about Muhammad, the Prophet, and Amos G. Oh my God,
Oh God. So they're really political. They like to talk about the
they're so
political subjects
political.
of the day. Yeah.
And Joshua Futterstein. He's made talk about that guy too. And I need to say Keithian and Steve Shives.
Of course, crazy old Steve Shives.
He blocked me on Twitter.
He like almost like 2 days or maybe a day after I made the Dead Kyle account, I added Red and a few other people, like maybe 10 people I followed, and then we were all in this DM group, and they're like, "Hey, Kyle," and I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, have you checked to see if Steve Shives blocked you or you're blocked? I'm like, "Oh no, let me go check." And so I went and checked, and only a day after I uploaded, made my YouTube channel. I mean, not YouTube, but my Twitter page for Dead Kyle, I was totally blocked by Steve Shives, and I had never even spoken to the man before.
He blocked me 1 month after I started mine. And I saw my friends that was going to get blocked by him. And then I was right 1 month after starting my account.
Yeah, he's got
And
these weird
then
blocking bots and blockchains and stuff. He's really weird about not wanting to hear a contrary opinion at all.
oh yeah, he really is. I mean, like I said to him that I loved Sargon, then I was blocked. So
Oh, wonderful. Horrible
so
crime liking someone you
he
actually watch.
he actually had he saw that I said that to him. He didn't
Yeah.
already have me blocked. Have you seen when Computing Forever did his video about people getting blocked by Steve Shives?
Oh, I don't think so. Well, I might have. I
I can
just didn't know
like
his name, but I might have. Called Computing Forever.
yeah, he
Yeah, it
made a
sounds
video
familiar.
about that.
Yeah, his name sounds familiar. I might have seen it before.
He made a video about um called "I Was Blocked by Steve Shives," a short video. It's
Is it
so
like a
funny.
music video, or is it a music video?
No, it's like when people say that they're blocked by Steve Shives because he found people that he know that lived in the same country as him that he could personally go and meet, and they made up and recorded a video about them being blocked by Steve Shives because there were so many people being blocked by Steve Shives around the area where he lived. They can make this video together, and that in itself is just wow. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, like, how can you even find so many people to block? I mean, like, it's just it's fucking magic.
Well, see, if you've never interacted with him before, but you're subscribed or you follow people that he does not like or he has in his blockchain, so if you follow someone that's blocked, then you will be blocked in association, even though you've never contacted him before. That's how these crazy blockchain things work. That's the basic gist of it. I don't really understand it that much, but I don't see how anybody who claims to want to get to the bottom of things, who likes to logically think, he claims, who would ever
He
want to
does.
block a opinion you disagree with.
No, he believed that if you're an anti-feminist, you're a misogynist. Even though most
Mm,
of feminist advocacy could accurately be described as proper fucking misogyny. So
yeah.
I mean, like, feminism has harmed women in many ways, and it's so fucking awful who who men could like say that silence women who speak against. I mean, like, there are feminists. Men are the ones, and feminists in general are the ones that silencing women. And the worst violation of women's rights in the West is because of feminism.
Oh yeah. And if I was Steve Shives, I would be horrified to let for people to know that I block people so much and don't want to have a conversation with. I'm so if I were Steve Shives, I'd be so scared to let everyone know how terrified I was to have my opinions challenged. That's
Oh
what it's
yeah,
all about. He's terrified to have
it is.
any opinion of his challenged.
Then it's because he kind of knows that he's all wrong.
Yeah, he just can't handle it
But
or something.
I know that Griffith, she made a she asked him a question, and then he blocked it. Why does he silence his women? If you're a feminist, then stop silencing women, for fuck's sake. What are you? A misogynist?
He's
Oh,
such a
yeah,
hypocrite.
yeah. They really. I mean, like, for example, and he so defends he defends Islam.
Yeah, a lot. All these regressive leftists, they they're so gung ho about feminism, protecting women, protecting women's rights, but they support and defend Islam 100% without even criticizing Islam's failings when it comes to feminist rights and gay rights, and they totally fail in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, like, when it comes to when yeah, really, like that. My mother is a feminist, a secondary feminist, and she said that that hijab was in many ways oppressive, and if she were to say it to him, he would block her, basically.
Wow.
I mean, like, I mean, like, I think you would. I mean, like, would you object to that? I don't know.
Who, me? Objected to what?
Do you think that he would block her if she said that?
Oh, probably. Yeah, he would block if you disagree with him. Like if if he says, "Oh, I love fettuccine alfredo," and you say, "Oh, I'm not really a big fan of alfredo," he would be like, "Block."
Yeah, he will basically block feminists for saying that Islam, for saying things about bad things about Islam,
You
and
know.
then say that it's misogynistic for people to oppose Anita Sarkeesian, even though Anita Sarkeesian is an anti-women's rights advocate who tried to get people who tried to get a women's advocacy group defunded.
Oh yeah, and he gets triggered and goes block crazy
I
at
mean,
the
like, who
most
is the
benign tiny
misogynist here?
things. I know, really. He's
Yeah, I mean, like,
obviously doesn't have a good mirror to look in on himself.
yeah, but I think that you don't really have a good mirror either, because if you just personal life.
Who is the what? Who's the craziest feminist alive?
I mean, I said that you doesn't really seem to have a clear mirror either, because if you hadn't, you would see that you're so cute.
Oh God.
You just perfect opportunity. I couldn't miss this, my dude. Sorry. Yeah,
So
but
how
is
long
there
are you going to
anything?
stay up tonight?
Um, I can't stay in the beginning of the video, but if you want to, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
It's something I just want to talk about is when they talked about when they asked a lot of questions about Black Lives Matter and shit, and
Yeah.
and something that about that is that I just want to know what actually means by black, or because if, for example, if you say that the Afro-Dominicans who live in the Dominican Republic, they doesn't
Hmm.
consider themselves black but brown, even though they are fully blooded sub-Saharan Africans,
Yes.
because black is associated with Haiti, and they are not really in favor of Haiti because they have different language and culture.
Yeah. The Dominicans and I mean, yeah, the Dominicans really hate the Haitians. They're all on the same gigantic island, but the Dominicans just have this real hatred for Haitians for some reason. There's a whole historical context behind it and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
you know, it seems,
they have different
weird.
cultures. For example, Haitians, they are referred to as black by themselves and Dominicans.
Yeah.
So Afro-Dominicans, their skin color would be referred to as brown because they refuse to call themselves black, even though they're
Yes.
sub-Saharan Africans. While Haitians, they are called black. But there are white Haitians, and they are also called black because they were discriminated against when during the revolution, but they were kept because they had some knowledge about things that they wanted to stay, and their families were kept alive during the violent revolution. But it wasn't really a racist revolution because they didn't really have any choice because they just wanted to be
Yeah.
free. So
Oh yeah.
the white Haitians were still discriminated afterwards. But then when American protections arrived, they said that the white Haitians were also black because we are one color and one people. So
Oh yeah.
they call themselves um, black blacks and white blacks, but they are all equals because they're both blacks. Even they're all Haitians are black, even though they're white, but they're also white and black. They are considered white and they're considered black at the same time, but they're
Yeah.
equals
They
because
they
they're
have a
all black.
lot of they have a lot of white, and there are a lot of mixed race people
No, not really
in the
Haiti.
Caribbean.
Yeah, but Haiti, they're black Haitians. They aren't really that, but there are mixed race
Yeah,
people
that's
there.
what I've noticed.
But
Haitians do have, a lot of, they don't really have that much, uh, white,
they
they
don't
don't
have
really
mixed.
mix that much.
No, but all Haitians, even though they are different skin color, are called themselves black.
Yes.
So if you say that Black Lives Matter, then that doesn't include Afro-Dominicans, but it not include white Haitians.
Mm-hmm.
It would be because they are black. Because black is. I'm going to make a video about how black and white as skin colors are social constructs
Yeah.
because they aren't really referring to races. I'm like, if you are an ethnic European or a sub-Saharan African, then those are races. White
Oh yeah.
isn't a race. Black isn't a race. So when people say the white race, they are, I hate that. I like being referred to as white, but I don't really think that's a race. My race, if our race would be Germanic and also European, Caucasian, Caucasus, what have you
Yeah.
not, and that's
Yeah.
fine
I
because
don't consider white as a race. Yeah, I
it's not.
agree. I consider
It's
white
a
a pigment.
Yeah, white is basically a social construct referring a number of ethnicities and races, for example.
Yeah. Like black
If
shouldn't be considered a race either.
it isn't because if you look at what we said about the Dominicans and Haitians, so the black isn't really a
Yes.
race.
It's really,
But
specific.
sub-Saharan Africans, that's a race. Black
Yes.
Africans, that's a race. But black isn't a race.
Oh, well, I have to go. I have to get that recorded. Chair's probably panicking right now because we only have like a little while. He's got to get it edited, so I probably need to go and get that recorded for him. But I was
Okay,
asking
when
how
you
long you're going to be up because I could give you the Hangout link for Chair's stream in a little while, and you could jump on there and talk about what we're talking about if you wanted to, if you were still awake or whatever.
Yeah, I can do that, but we can stop there now. But so, do you want to say goodbye to the chat?
Oh yeah, everybody in the chat, it was wonderful being on Jay's channel and talking with you guys.
Oh,
We're probably
wonderful
gonna
to have you here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do this again like really soon. Like I'd love to do this like either once a week or once every other week or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, then we can switch the channels a bit because I don't just want to be on have my channels filled with live streams, you know.
Oh yeah.
But if you can't, then we can do it again. As my channels is always fine.
Okay. Yeah. Between now and next time, I'll try to figure out how to do the hangout on my because I've never done a live stream on mine. I usually
We
just go
can
on other people's and stuff since I'm
we can
always on a
do.
mobile device.
Oh yeah, we can do on mine until you figure it out.
Okay. I'll probably figure it out by next Saturday or Friday. So it should be good.
Okay, that's awesome. So bye chat, and I will end